If you had the choice, would you take the super soldier serum?
Hells yeah.
Sure, it would be fun to be able to throw a shield in the most physics-defying way possible, but as we've seen, there are a lot of downsides to the serum that turned scrawny Steve Rogers into Huncules. Well, maybe you need some more data to make your decision. Today's video is all about every super soldier that has been created in the MCU and all the good or bad they ended up doing. How did these folks live up to Captain America? Well, let's get into it right now. Red Guardian was a major scene stealer in the Black Widow movie, and now fans everywhere are dying to see him again.
It still fits.
The character was hilarious, but also had a profound sense of tragedy to him. He was a great hero back in the early days of the Cold War and wanted to serve his country, but then started to become a problem to those in charge. He said he criticized not only the party, but also Dreykov's hair, and one of those things resulted in him being stuck in prison and left to rot. And I don't know, seeing how sensitive Dreykov was, it was probably the hair comment. And overall, that's a real shame. It sounds like, as far as we know, Red Guardian was Russia's only successful attempt at recreating the super soldier serum after a few failures, so he was definitely an asset that should have been used better. While in prison, Red Guardian often told stories about he and his respected comrade, Captain America, engaged in battle, even though it was clear the two had never crossed paths before.
What are you calling me, a liar or something, huh?
Though it would be interesting to see a Sam Wilson Captain America and Red Guardian team up, don't you think? If there's one rule for the super soldier serum, it's that you need to be pretty pure of heart before the serum, or else you're gonna have a bad time. The serum amplifies some of the worst traits you have, as well as your good ones, so it was no surprise that John Walker, aka the punchable Captain America, aka US Agent, went a little off the deep end after taking the serum. Let's be honest, it wasn't that Walker was this bad guy with an evil agenda. He sincerely wanted to be the hero that his nation thought he could be, and when he was failing to live up to those expectations, he felt he needed to step up his game and take the serum. But of course, that ended with him bashing a flag smasher's face in with the shield. Good thing blood washes out of vibranium pretty easily. But then, surprisingly, the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier pulled Walker back from the ledge and made him a hero again, but a slightly unstable one.
Things are about to get weird.
It set him up as a valuable and important member of Valentina's probable Dark Avengers squad, so that was an exciting development overall. Steve Rogers will always be the gold standard for super soldiers. He was the first one, the best one, and created a legacy that will probably go unmatched by almost any hero in the MCU. He always fought for what was right, even if that caused trouble, and never gave up. Ever. No matter if it was being beaten up in an alleyway of a movie theater while looking like a tiny scarecrow or staring down Thanos' army alone, Steve could do this all day. It's actually probably his fault why there are so many copycats. Everyone looks at what Steve Rogers does and is like, yeah, we want exactly that. Only it never turns out that way. It's hard to tell whether Steve Rogers is truly done in the MCU, or if he's doing something crazy like living on the moon, helping Nick Fury make his sword base. That would be awesome. Even though he's been a side character for so long, Bucky Barnes' arc in the MCU has been one of the best in the franchise. He's gone from decorated hero to presumed dead to brought back as a brainwashed assassin to struggling to break free of said brainwashing to becoming the White Wolf of Wakanda to being the type of guy who hits on Falcon's sister and attends family barbecues. Talk about range. And that's mostly all because Bucky became a super soldier after being captured by Hydra and experimented on. Sure, he didn't have the best introduction to the super serum, and he regrets his past immensely, but now finally he's his own hero ready to carve a new path for himself. And if that path somehow leads him back to Wakanda to help out with T'Challa now being gone, I wouldn't mind that. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier shone a tough light on the Captain America legacy in the context of what it would mean for a black man to carry the shield. And through that conversation, we learned that there was actually a black super soldier who underwent the most inhumane treatment imaginable. After Steve Rogers was frozen, the government experimented on black men by injecting them with experimental super soldier serums, and the only one who survived was Isaiah Bradley. The government, worried how this would look, locked Bradley up for most of his life until he was able to escape and go into hiding. His story highlights just how obsessed the world is in recreating the perfect super soldier, and how what happened with Steve was a true anomaly. Hopefully we see Isaiah Bradley again, maybe mentoring his grandson Eli, who in the comics becomes Patriot. Man, we've come a long way in the super soldier serum for it not to melt all your skin off and turn you a bright red now, haven't we? Red Skull was Cap's first big villain, and he was a scientist who took the serum when it wasn't quite ready yet, turning him into an insane monster of a man who wanted to cause a lot of damage. He wanted the serum too quickly and paid the ultimate price for it. And the question everyone asks is whether we'll see Johann Schmidt again in the MCU. After all, it was confirmed by the Russo brothers that after the Soul Stone was taken, Red Skull was free from his imprisonment. So could that mean we have a ghostly Red Skull super soldier out there now? How awesome would that be? Karli proved to be a formidable foe for both Sam and Bucky in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She started off as a villain with a very understandable motivation who wanted to help those in need, but then soon grew more violent and radical with each passing episode. I'm not sure if the super soldier serum grants you the ability to fight well, but it seems like Karli had some serious fighting chops. And even though she's not around anymore, she did teach us a valuable lesson. Super soldiers aren't bulletproof. I know Karli wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but I'm sad she's no longer with us, as she would have made a fascinating recurring character in a world that keeps getting more super. The Flag Smashers were the group of super soldiers that Karli was leading, and while they didn't get as much development as Karli did, they still presented a solid challenge for Sam, Bucky, and John Walker. They are the epitome of what someone like Baron Zemo was always afraid of. He didn't want superpowered people having unchecked authority in the world because then there's no accountability. And his fears were confirmed when the Flag Smashers basically got the super soldier serum and then ran amok. Though, to the best of my knowledge, it didn't seem like these Flag Smashers were corrupted by the serum like Walker was. It just made them believe in their cause a bit more. Though we don't necessarily have to worry about the Flag Smashers anymore, as Baron Zemo got them all together and blew them up, which answers the other big question of if super soldiers are explosion-proof. Quick answer? They're not. Captain America Civil War gave us a big narrative swerve in the third act. For the longest time, we thought Zemo's plan was to find these super soldiers who were put on ice for defying orders and create his own special mercenary super soldier hit squad. But then we found out that actually wasn't the case at all. Zemo ended up killing all the super soldiers in the facility because he didn't want that level of power out there in the world. Can you imagine for a second if this squad of super soldiers was actually released? Well, I guess we could, because it's basically what happened with the Flag Smashers. Were these really all of the frozen super soldiers? Like, why would Hydra keep them all in one place like that? It would make more sense for them to spread out their assets around the world in secure locations, right? I'm just saying there could be a hidden pocket of super soldiers out there. Emil Blonsky had it pretty rough. He had received a variant of the super soldier serum, and it was given to him through multiple deep tissue and bone marrow injections. Yes, he became a super soldier, but also his body and mind started to deteriorate. He started getting super aggressive, and then things really took a turn when he was given a transfusion of Hulk's blood. And I guess Hulk's blood plus super soldier serum doesn't mix well, and it turned him into Abomination. The Hulk then beat him up pretty badly, but hey, at least he'll be seen again fighting Wong and Shang-Chi. There's a sentence I never thought I'd say. I don't know, with my luck, if I took the serum, I'd probably end up looking like Red Skull, and then it would be insanely difficult to go about everyday life. How do you think Red Skull goes to the grocery store or eats at restaurants? Oh, wait, do you think they have restaurants on Vormir? Who knows?